In this video, I'm going to share 12 camera movements for cinematic video. Creative shot ideas for better B-roll to use on your next video shoot. If you don't have a gimbal, don't sweat because a lot of these shots are possible with just your hands. What's up YouTube, Jockraft here with another exciting tutorial. Although my channel has a strong focus on video with Sony cameras, I've decided to spend more energy on filmmaking tutorials like this one that will help make your video look and feel more cinematic. From epic B-roll ideas to lighting and color grading. If you want to step up your video game, watch this space. Now let's jump into those camera movements. Number 1. The Michael Bay. Aptly named after the director who made the shot famous. 3 things you have to do here to pull it off. Shooting from a lower angle upwards has a way of elevating your character, creating the hero effect. You have to use a lens equivalent between 35mm and 50mm. And then most important, your camera movement needs to be in the opposite direction against the movement of your talent, with the turning movement keeping them centered. In general, this needs to be shot at 50 frames per second or more to amplify the hero effect, but can also work if you're doing a quick edit like this one that was shot at 25 frames per second. The zoom push. For this shot, you need a zoom lens, and the idea is to zoom in as you push forward. Zooming in post will not give you the same effect because the compression changes with the focal length, giving you a new perspective. You can also pull out and zoom out like I did in this shot. I also love shooting it at a natural frame rate like 24-25 frames per second because of the beautiful blur you get when you zoom. Perfect for fast edits. The model reveal. This has to be one of my favorite shots. The idea is simple. Place your models in a straight line. Start with the camera in front of the one model and reveal the second one as you move around. This shot also uses the principle of opposite movement, where the model's face moves in the opposite direction to the camera, making the shot feel more cinematic. Number 4. Ingredients on the lens. It doesn't have to be food, but shooting straight up and dropping stuff on the lens sure makes for an interesting angle. You can use clear plastic wrap or a sheet of glass to protect the lens. Having a rotating screen really helps with framing because you want to shoot at a shallow depth of field, which also adds to the effect. Number 5. The bicycle reveal. Again, it doesn't have to be a bicycle. It can be a runner or someone on a skateboard, but the idea of the shot is to let the subject enter the frame, to hold the frame for a few seconds, and then to let the subject speed off out of the frame. This kind of shot is a really good way to open a scene, like I did for my Sony FX3 film. Number 6. Pan up, look up. With this shot, timing is key. Your actor has to look up at the right time as the camera moves up. In this case, it took a few takes, but when you get it right, it will create a powerful effect. We're halfway there. If you're enjoying this video, make sure you stick around to the end as I will be sharing a bonus tip. Number 7. The pullback reveal. The movement is pretty straightforward, but it's important to bring the subject in the frame with some kind of movement as you pull out, giving it more life. In this case, it's the hand going up, but in other examples, I had the model stepping into the frame. So the focus was first set on establishing the scene and then transitions over to the model. A reveal like this at the right time can create a powerful moment in your video. Number 8. Forward push wide. Similar to pulling back, but now you're actually going with your talent forward. And the idea of this shot is to take you closer to your next scene. So your next cut has to be a medium or a close-up. The most important aspect of this shot is to use a wide lens and to find a good foreground. Start your movement before the model hits the exact spot for smoother results. Number 9. Cross movement. Not exactly a shot you can always plan for, but worth looking out for. There's something amazing about cross movement in a frame, and if you can put your subject against the flow of other objects or people, your shot is bound to look more cinematic. Number 10. The twirl. This shot became more popular on gimbals with a rotating function, but it's actually possible to do it hand out. Since you can't move the camera as far as with a gimbal, it's important to use a foreground, which really helps to enhance the feeling of movement. These shots can be done at normal frame rates, although slow motion will give you smoother results. Number 11. Reflections. It doesn't matter where I shoot. I'm always going to look for reflections. It doesn't have to be water, and you only need a little bit, but a reflection really adds to the cinematic depth of your frame. Number 12, the centered look back. This shot you definitely want to shoot in slow motion, preferably above 50 frames per second. Keep your model in the center of the frame and at the right spot call action for them to look back into the camera. And now for that bonus tip. Do you find yourself sometimes not knowing how to direct your actors? If you don't know what action to assign to your model, the easiest way is to use props or to make them go somewhere. Props give your model something to do, and unless they need to deliver dialogue, you'll always want them to interact with something. Put them on the move and the journey alone will instantly make things feel more natural. This really helps if you're not working with professional actors or models without video experience. I do this in all my videos, but it's important to keep the props relevant to the scene. I made a detailed video about the subject, you can check it out here. If you enjoyed this video, please be so kind to leave a like, and if you have any questions, drop it in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.